I'll step back. I suppose. Yeah, you're on.
All right. Reorder the budget meeting workshop for March 13th at 12:03 p.m. Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll do a roll call. Mark Gogi here. Stephanie Kozar is absent and excused. Nick.
Here.
Olga.
Here.
All right. So we did a good little thing yesterday with Stephanie, obviously. It worked out good. Joey missed it, but it was probably about the most productive budget thing we ever had. It was really nice. She went through this whole thing and we changed all these accounts.
Right, yeah.
And eliminated a lot. So now we basically just need to go through and start figuring out what we're gonna spend for the year, I would think.
Yeah, I think we're ready for that.
So I guess we go to,
Right to Department 101, huh? Starting
Yeah.
there.
you know, what, we should have had this, this is just a change. We didn't do we don't have the copy of the 5% one, do we?
No.
No, we had the last time.
Nah, not after she changed.
Right, we should probably have type up, or type out another one and it'll get the 5%, then we can up it or lower it from what we think it's gonna be for the year. I mean, I kind of suggested this yesterday. I know we need to go through this line by line, but maybe each person gets a department, handles it. Go from there.
I mean, we just look at these, the township board items. Well, I guess first bank fees, our bank fees, there's nothing there. But salaries, there's no reason that anything's gonna change on salaries. is it?
No, we're skipping all the, you said you were gonna leave all them the same this year, so we're.
Yeah.
we're
Yeah, so
leaving
them are
all.
all
I
good.
think we should,
All the election people, I would think, are gonna stay the same.
the only thing I want to change is gonna be, planning commission. For the amount of hours of time that people put in for $45, I just don't know how they stay here. I don't know what your thought process on that. You probably can't tell you because you're on that, but
But yeah,
I think that's a little light for as much time and effort we put into that board. I don't know, you guys, any recommendations? I got some ideas in my head. I don't know if,
They're hourly, right?
no,
they get so much a
Per
meeting,
reading.
Oh,
per meeting.
I think it's $45 and then
Well, I think
it's
this chairman's 45, right?
it might be, and then everyone else
The
gets
other
40.
one's like $10 less, is
And it's like $5
it
difference.
$5 difference? Yeah.
I think my recommendation would be, and this is up to you guys, I think the chair could do $100 and $95 for all the members. Because you're there, you could be here for hours on end, and all the work that goes on in the backdrop of it.
right. Yeah, they're not getting paid for being at home working
No.
on that stuff, are they?
No, they get meeting.
Yeah.
And honestly, what I've seen since I've been here in my term is there's a lot goes into planning commission. I mean, they do a lot of our work.
Yes.
I don't know if you can go up, you don't want.
I just double this, Olga.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but I mean-
but what are other townships? I don't know.
They're all over the books. I mean, I should probably go look. This is my suggestion when I go.
Unknown caller.
Okay,
Sorry,
just making
guys.
sure I'm on the same page.
That seems like a big jump.
Yeah, I think it's a
I mean, we can
little.
look into it. I mean, what I'll do is I'll make some phone calls around. I do have the records from a year ago, when I think we did some calling around. But I'd be honest with you, a lot of these boards, like Dundee Township doesn't even meet half the time. You know, they're planning commission because they got
Yeah.
nothing going on these days.
I think that's why it's per meeting, because sometimes you don't even.
And I
No,
agree,
you don't
per
have
meeting,
anything.
this is it. It's just, but like I said, I've seen what's went into this place for the last year and a half and man. I don't know, John hung with it as long as he did.
Right.
30 years, yeah,
Yeah,
for $45.
right. I mean, that's.
And that was a raise probably.
It was, 'cause it was 40, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got no problem with jumping them up.
Yeah, that's a suggestion, so let's, for right now, we'll just,
We can bring that to the board, talk about it
True.
on a board meeting or something. But so for these township board items here, just going through this, the only one that looks crazy here is that 13,000, which was what did she say she put in there? I said, if not the other, then here.
Yeah, we got. well,
She had
we-
miscellaneous expenses of 13 grand this year.
Right, and we need to get clarification on that, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't write down what it was for some reason. I didn't. One miscellaneous expenses.
So I got a note on mine to look into.
Yeah, we'll have to see what that is. I wrote down that if it doesn't go in any of these other line items, that's where she puts it, but you
Right.
shouldn't have 13 grand in a miscellaneous expense account.
Right,
That's
So-
more than any other.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so we'll look into that.
I think it's just in the wrong line.
It could be. That could be repairs to building. Yeah, we'll have to get with Steph on that.
Yeah.
Pull the report on it.
But, you know, the other ones, your professional services, you know, we're quite a bit over budget, but, you know,
Which I think that's got,
did quite a bit in here too.
yeah, so those two I think are something we need clarification on, obviously. So we got notes on those. Coming down to my department. I mean, nothing's really changed there. I mean, obviously I got a deputy now, that's why we're over than what we used to be.
Do we gotta call you mayor now?
No, you're not calling me
Oh,
mayor.
okay.
Not mayor, not governor, not your
Not
excellency. I'm
president.
tired of all that.
Well, you're not over.
No. So my department seems like it's sitting where it should
You
be.
got, we're at almost the end of the month, you got 900, you're almost perfect. You can't hardly beat that.
It's a miracle.
Clerk, you're within $453 of that one.
Yeah, the only thing she's high is on deputy clerk wages went up because of the election.
Well, right.
That put the hurts to us. And obviously new supplies we gotta buy, and we've been upgrading everywhere we are, so. But we're still not that far out of whack.
No, you're still 453 above water, so
Yeah.
you're right there. And it doesn't hurt to raise everything a little bit, you know?
If it's 5% or something.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
we put 5% on this, you're gonna be pretty good.
So it brings us to this, we were talking about, the board members, I think we should forego our raises this year due to the taxes and everything went up the last 2 years. I mean, people really taking a hit on the property. And I'll have a lot of better answer for this afternoon when we get done some of our board meetings.
So how come people are complaining? Why did the taxes go up so much that they're,
Inflation,
Inflation went up, so everyone got a 5% hit.
5%.
Last
See,
year-
inflation's been running for the
Yeah.
last 10 years, like at 2.5, 2.
Yeah.
So, you
So
know,
it can only be inflation or 5%. It can't go anymore. So when inflation is over 5%, it goes 5%.
and then that last year was 7.5%. I think this year is
Yeah.
still over 5.
Yeah.
So you got 5% last year, 5% this year, and some of these people who just bought property here are already got the uncap of the property, so now you're really
Right.
taking a hit.
Everything that gets uncapped.
So
makes it
I think we
more.
should, as a board, go forego our raises to maybe help our residents out. Maybe we got a problem with that?
It's not gonna help your residents out.
No, but I mean,
No,
it's less
no.
spending, we're just trying to be conservative here a little bit. Cause I look back in the past and we got 5% raises, 6%, 7% every year for years, so.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. That's why I'm like, we'll forgo it this year.
Is that, you're gonna put that on your campaign slogan?
Oh. God.
Yeah.
I just
Here we
wondered.
go.
All right, let's keep moving.
All right,
Yeah.
clerk, we got done. Now we're on to auditing fees, which that's not gonna change. Obviously, it's gonna be the same.
Still good there.
Board review. It's right where it should be. I don't think nothing's gonna change there either, because that's pretty much set in stone. That's an hourly thing.
Yep. You're still ahead there.
Treasurer department.
This guy's got a lot of extra money right here
Yeah, I don't know why you,
because he doesn't use his deputy clerk at all.
yeah, he needs to start. So it's bringing that up to the light after yesterday's conversation about the fire department. And this is up to you. How we should handle billing for these accidents on 23 house fires,
Right.
they just build us.
I hate to see anybody in the township get burned, hit with a bill.
I don't
in
want
the
to do it.
township, but if anybody that's out of the township, yeah, I got no problem with that.
Well, somebody used to charge.
What, we didn't get the bills. for
We
the fire
had,
department
when
on time
Barb
either.
was here, we had a thing where she was gonna get the bill and I was gonna send the bills out. She never gave me no bills, so
Right,
they never went out.
and then
So the whole thing is getting to the fire department and have them, you gotta get the information. You can't just
right,
send out
months
bills.
later.
You're gonna have open bills till the cows come home unless you get.
because
the
we just
right-
got a bill from the fire department for $120,000 because it's since 2022.
Right.
And it's jumbled up, so we gotta go through that. In fact, I
Yeah.
invited Stephanie to the fire
But,
board meeting.
I also got checks that are open from last year.
Yeah,
Because
that's,
they don't cash them. I've been up there before and
oh,
says you gotta cash these checks. And matter of fact, I got 3 of them right now. I wanna go, might stop by there today and say, you need to do something.
so you like the fire department meetings, the 28th of March, 5 PM at the fire barn.
Yeah.
Come up there. Because maybe we need to bring it to attention because I wanna pay our bills. I don't wanna be behind.
Right,
I wanna be ahead of the game a little bit.
right.
Seems like everything we touch is we're always
Well,
behind.
here's the thing. She sent us a bunch of bills the other day and 5 of them we wrote checks for.
Right,
And she never, either she got them or she hasn't cashed them yet or not. And I've had that happen before, so. Yeah, we need to address those,
but I think far as the billing on that, it should be a joint effort. We all get involved and figure out how to do it. Or we do what York Township does. And they got a company comes in and it's, we get 2/3 of the money, they get paid 1/3 for doing the billing and everything for us. At least we're getting something back in return. But
Right.
I don't wanna, because someone fell down and broke their leg, I don't wanna bill them for that. But I wanna
Right.
bill them for, if you have a house fire and you got insurance, you should get a fire department bill.
right.
Have you read your fire charges ordinance?
No.
Okay, I just found it actually, so it might be good to look that over. And then you guys can discuss it further, once you read through it and read, what you already have in place and what you might, it might be another ordinance that, you're gonna,
Tweak.
yeah, that's the word.
Yeah,
Couldn't think
no,
of
let's look into that. That's good. Thanks, Amanda.
Mhm.
So, okay, we're done in that department. On to assessor.
That one needs to jump, but let's put another 2 grand on that one. Make it 31.5.
That's just, I think, because of the training, and everything she's got to be taking lately.
Right, everything goes up, so you gotta just stay with it. So if you go to 31.5, you're gonna be just a little bit over, which you gotta keep yourself a little cushion.
On to, any other discussion on that or move right along?
No, I get fine there.
The elections is something I think we need to wait for Stephanie on, because that is kind of a,
Yeah, because she was putting a early election category in here, correct? Or was she doing a whole nother
well, we were.
department?
yeah,
What was the,
We were talking about that. We weren't sure what we're gonna do yet. Let me go back here.
we talked about it maybe back in the,
Well,
because.
you're still ahead $565, so, and we're at the end of the year, so you're really.
Which are
close.
good, right, because, yeah, the next elections will be next year.
Yeah, you're gonna have to budget a lot more because you
We're gonna
have
have
2
2 elections.
elections in
Right.
this coming fiscal year.
So you're at your original budget's 93, you go 10.5 on it. Probably good.
No, you're gonna need more than that,
Yeah,
because you gotta figure 9 days for each election.
Oh.
Early election.
Yeah, the early election.
So
for-
how much
for both of them.
how much extra you think you're talking?
I would say probably at least 1/3 of what you
Probably,
already have budgeted.
Oh,
Because
so-
she said the early election cost about
So
7
that's-
grand,
so you got
our portion of
almost-
it.
Yeah,
So if we're having another early election, 2 of them instead of 1,
yeah, so you're
that's
talking.
another 7 to 8
almost
grand.
well, it won't be
exactly
so
what
bad,
you
because
have.
we already paid for the equipment, so that'll be out of the realm of it,
So
so.
another
just gotta back
third of
down.
that is, you got 93.5,
I
so
said we
let's go with 15.
Yeah, Yeah,
It's all right to be over.
right.
You don't want to be under. That's the whole point of the auditors. It's all right to have more in there.
It's better to have.
For a budget, you mean?
Yeah, it's a
Higher
budget. See, the thing about it is, we're not that tight on our budget. We have way more that we need to spend some money.
Oh, I'm
here,
gonna start
so,
doing that.
Well, you probably, if we're gonna have 2 early elections,
Yeah,
I'd add another 7,500 on there.
go to 18. We can go to 18. It doesn't hurt anything.
I mean, isn't that what it cost roughly was like 7 grand?
Yeah.
Cause we split it
Yeah,
with 3.
I'm not sure how much, like
The
you said, the
equipment.
equipment and stuff like that was. Plus, you gotta figure, I'm sure training was
But that's supposed to be
You know,
reimbursed back to us
in
too.
there. Well, okay, but you still have to budget for it because it's coming out of your general fund. When it comes back to you, you don't know.
Right, I said, you know what, let's do 15 grand
15.
flat. And then play by,
I would say 15 and then let Stephanie,
yeah,
say if she thinks that will,
Yeah.
Be feasible.
There you go.
All right, 15 it is. Building and grounds. We're a little short there.
She's gonna move that 10 grand. That was building inspection. That 1,967 it went from 10 to 1,900 because that's Bob's phone, Robert's phone.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
And
so she's
original.
gonna put that up in building inspection department, so that'll move out that 1967.
Alright.
so we can knock it down to,
You knock 2 grand off of it, really, or just leave the 2 grand for inflation. Because anything you buy right now is, damn near twice of what it used to cost.
and that communication, that should be coming down, cause we got rid of the internet, we got rid of our phones, we got rid of
Yeah, the
a
phones.
lot there, so.
All the phones.
Oh, okay.
That's.
So we can leave that, why don't we leave that at 24.9?
Talking about phones, this is a little bit off, but somebody called the number, the old number. And of course, didn't get anything, and then she was told to look on the web, and the web has the old number also.
Jeez, we just corrected all that.
Well,
Oh, you know what? It had-
Google, I
Yeah,
bet you Google is wrong.
We just talked about the web last night in the planning meeting and it's getting spruced up a little. But, like a guy here, I don't know who the guy was. I've met him before, but he couldn't find stuff on the website and he wanted to find the planning, or
The master plan.
master plan, and it took, what did it take you, 5 drop-down boxes to get to it?
Yeah, well, it was departments, planning commission, master plan, master plan.
Mm,
Yeah.
I wanna get rid of all those sub-menus and condense everything to make it a bit more user-friendly.
so that lady called me with the same problem, she goes, oh, I can't get a hold of anybody there, and I only got your number, I'm like, how'd you get it? Well, I went on the web, well, if you keep going scrolling down, everybody's picture there with their phone number is
Phone number,
right
yeah.
there. So I don't know how she got only me. Because all her
You're
little,
the top dog. You're the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her you're the only one here that works anymore.
right, I would have to say no,
Alright, so you wanna leave the building grounds at 24.9?
yes.
And we'll see how that works out with taking all that stuff away. Alright. Appropriations. Attorney, counsel, legal fees.
Yeah, we're actually doing good there,
Yep,
I think we should leave that alone.
I would leave it at 10 grand, yes, sir. Cemetery. You're looking good there, you still got $3,300 left, so.
And let's leave that there because we have got a lot of tree cutting this year that we did already. I think we did some in December, January, and then we just did a bunch more. So I think we should leave that alone too.
Alright, so leave that at 44,250.
Yep.
Okay. Watershed,
That's not gonna change.
That's gonna get
That's-
moved into dues and subscriptions or something,
okay,
so that'll be out of there.
Building inspection salaries, I think we're doing way better there than we should be.
You're spending more than you did, you should have,
And you spend 11,000 and you only budget 6,600.
yes. So we need a little more in that one. Unless some of this is, what we got here? These are inspectors.
Well, we got an inspector that's
What's the-
inspecting now, so
Yeah, that's gonna be, the money's gonna be
Yeah.
coming back in. You wanna move that up to 10? Let's see what happens.
I would just
Keep
keep it, go 11, go a
Yeah.
little bit more than we
Okay.
spent.
yeah, 11, I'd say is good.
There you go. Engineers, you're doing good on that one.
Yeah, we're gonna
She's
leave
putting
that.
the
Definitely leave it.
engineering, she's gonna split this into the planning
And the
and
board.
the board. So this will get moved. So what we need to do then is make sure the planning and the board has that
Which I would say, well,
$1,000 a piece added to their thing. You know what I mean, to their budget.
if we're doing $5,000, I would say 35 to the planning commission and 1,500 to the board, because we're not gonna use them as much as the planning commission would be, I would think, or split it up evenly.
You should split it up evenly, and I only say this because, I mean, yes, the planning commission will be using them for like the master plan and the zoning ordinance. But you have to remember, like for Corrigan, all of that, they are paying for the engineer fees.
Well, right,
So-
before we weren't doing that, now it's being corrected.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think they'll need a bunch more than you.
Right.
Let's
But
leave
It
it,
doesn't hurt to leave that engineer right there at $5,000.
and it will split it between the two departments.
It's not like you gotta, yeah, you can do that.
That's fine.
You can always.
So
amend it.
plus 2,500 for engineer.
No, we're gonna
And
split
what was the other one? What was five?
board, the township board itself, so
Township.
25 one, 25 the
Yeah,
other.
and then 20, where's the board? We passed them already. So I'm just gonna make a note on the board. So township board, I'll put plus 2,500 engineer. We moved it, okay.
And then Department 441 is going away because we don't use any of that.
Okay,
Sanitation, we're gonna leave the same, because that's gonna fluctuate depending on how many
that's our
containers.
trash day, yeah, we're at 7.
Because last time we end up not using a container in a dump truck, a garbage truck, so it saved us money.
All right,
So we're gonna leave that alone.
all right.
The planning commission. I'm gonna be mad at myself here because I've got the budget from the planning commission. Do you have a copy of it, Nick, or no?
Does
Yes,
everybody need a
oh,
copy?
I
'Cause
didn't bring the copy.
I can make copies real quick.
Well, we had
Okay.
10-7 and you spent 12-9, and I'm sure that plan, they worked their butt off, so.
Well, you know what Lau was doing it, contract service engineering.
Right, we spent
Otherwise,
$9,000 on contractor services engineering, that was the,
$3,000 more than we should have.
that was the people that we got rid of, right? So
The
you might be-
planner. that one
Yeah,
planner
yeah, I
maybe.
think you might be pretty close with just,
Cause we'll have the engineer there.
You know what's funny? So we got engineers. And we spent $1,800 there. We turn around and go up here, and we got engineering through contract services, $9,000.
Yeah, you had, not only did you have Dave, you had, Lucy for a while.
Right.
And then.
That was
Lucy- What was
$1,400 to
the-
$1,500 a month we're paying them.
Yeah, that was.
yeah,
That was,
Lucy,
in
they
good-
were expensive.
Yeah,
it wasn't a good use of the money.
Right,
No.
so I think if you just left that,
it'll work itself out.
I think you might be, yeah,
All right, we'll leave it.
Right now, we'll probably be using, the engineer, because if we start redoing the
Master plan.
master plan, which they talked about last night, our next meeting, we're gonna start on master plan workshop. So it's gonna be master plan, and then they wanna hit right after it. Cheryl here, she's, overachiever. She, she wanted to hit zoning right, at the same time, and they kind of said, no, don't do them at the same time. It's a little too much, but
So 500 a month would be,
I would see this engineer
grand.
being here for, we
500
got,
a month is $6,000.
well, Corrigan will be paying his fee.
thanks. So salaries, let's bump that, if we're talking about giving everybody a raise, we would have to bump that up $6,000. Well, not 6,000.
That's not,
3,500
that's not
bucks.
where they're, oh, the salaries.
Yeah, we'd have to bump it up $3,500 there.
Well, let's go, we spent 13 roughly.
Thank you. In fact, yeah, here's. Remember Pat gave me this too. He gave a budget from the planning commission for 14 grand, so
Well, that's easy enough.
he's, yeah, I mean. They don't get no, it's,
Yeah, so they got a budget, proposed budget of 14. Let's just put 15 on this and you're good.
all right.
That cover your extra 2,500 in engineering we're moving in
I
it?
think it will, yeah.
Okay.
It'll be good. No, that helped out a lot. I thank Pat for that one. He was sweating it too.
Yeah.
That was kind of comical.
Well, he had to take on a lot all at once.
He did, and he's doing really well, so I'm
He is,
glad.
everybody is.
He getting all serious too.
Yeah,
I know. Kind of comical coming from him. Zoning, which that would be like Doobie. We're gonna add transportation to that?
That's not a lot of money,
No, it's not.
you know, $500, even at
Right.
$1,500, if you're gonna push him going out and doing these,
Yeah.
you know,
So we should raise that
giving
up.
tickets out there.
I would say like, just to cover yourself, you went 15, go 18.
Mhm.
He, before the past year, we didn't have anybody going out doing anything.
No.
Right. Yeah, right.
And now he's got two lawsuits in there too.
Yeah, and he's,
But that attorney's fee isn't in here, isn't in this account.
no,
So what are you saying, going
you know what, should we,
a couple grand?
Yeah, I got no problem with 2. You can go a
we should
little
check
more
with
if you
stuff
want.
on stuff. We need to get with stuff on that, see if we get them attorney fees. Maybe divide up going to that. I mean, that's one thing we need to do too. Our attorney is gonna be X amount of dollars, but does it need to be divided up between departments? Or just keep it as one big,
Why don't you ask the attorney to do what Kabisky does? Because Kabisky, he will divvy up his invoice and show how much was for this and how much was for this. So,
and pay accordingly?
Let him split it, yeah.
you
And
know,
just put it
see
so-
if the attorney.
Well, it's just easy
split it.
if it's in the budget to kind of know what each department's spending.
Right. Exactly.
Otherwise, you gotta have Steph pull up all the books, go through everything. We're gonna talk to her on that a little bit. Let's leave it at 18 for now. We'll talk to her on the attorney, adding attorney. 'Cause that's the only thing he's really gonna be involved in.
1,800.
Yeah. Board of Appeals is not gonna change because that's, should be the same every year.
All right,
Which is next to nothing.
right.
Yeah. That don't look like it's adding up correctly.
Why not? You got 700 budgeted, you spent $44.
So it's 656 less than what you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Budget.
well, board review's coming up right now, that's why it's not showing in here.
No, those are two different things. Board of Appeals is the zoning board of appeals.
Oh, that's right,
So that's
never
why I'm
mind.
curious, why is $44
I know, I
missing
keep-
out of that account?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, I keep forgetting that. That's the
It
ZBA.
really needs to be named differently, and I think she said that she was gonna.
Yeah,
name it
Yeah, she
different.
is. Leave
That's
that
an
alone.
odd, that's an
But
odd
why is
number.
there $44?
$44.
The
What's it?
ZBA.
Cause we must have used something for it.
He could,
There was
who knows,
nothing
could
for the
have,
ZBA though.
somebody could have put it in the wrong GL
Could be.
number.
I got a question mark.
Question here, yeah, okay. Insurance
Insurance
and
and
bonds,
bonds or.
she's moving that to the township board.
Yep,
So that's gonna go, so, okay, so now when we go to township board, you gotta add 9,000 or 10,000 to township board, right?
Why are you gonna move the insurance and the bonds to that?
There was another, well, she's gonna move it.
That's the building insurance and
Right, but she's gonna put
bonds
this,
for
a
us.
line like here, she's gonna add a line, instead of just doing it separately all the way over here. It'll still be here, but it'll be underneath a different, if I remember correctly,
Yeah, she said move to township board,
with its own,
township board. I don't know why we said that.
I don't either. Let's hold off. on that one.
Revisit, let's just say revisit.
Yeah,
It's always been separate. But I guess
Right.
it can change.
well, I think they just put too many departments in here, and it should be under just township board, but like a different GL number. Just think all the paper will save by doing this.
Yeah, well, that's just insurance for everything, so we got 13 covers it, you still got $3,800, so you're.
We're gonna leave that alone then for
I would
now.
leave it. Payroll taxes. Can't do anything with that,
Nope,
other than, don't know if it's gonna go up a little bit, but
I would leave it for now. Now we come down to all the fun things, right? Yeah,
Contingencies.
that,
And then what we'll have to do is we should have Stephanie bring in the COVID fund expenditures, because they're all mixed up in here.
yes, they are.
So that may be somewhere we could take it out of the budget, because we're not gonna get another COVID
right,
money to do something. So I don't know where it is up in these other expenses, but
Well, it's everywhere. It could be
Yeah.
for the building, it could have been for,
yeah, she should have a
Capital outlay.
spreadsheet on it, and then at least we could go through and go, okay, we can reduce these budgets.
Yeah. so we'll move off of that one.
Bring spreadsheet of activity.
Which there was one, well, she moved it. I had one underneath the plastic here.
What?
The COVID expenditures that we spent, I did a little,
Oh.
remember I had a little
Cheat sheet.
spreadsheet?
Yeah,
Then she got it added to it. Well, we should probably put it underneath the plastic here so it's readily available. Let's scoop over to the road fund.
road improvements.
Road improvements.
Which just shows the money coming in, correct?
Why is fire road spending?
Activity, you spent 309,000.
Whatever.
What are you doing? 4-lane here?
Yeah, right.
Fire road here,
Fire road, $255,000 budget. Is that right?
that's what
Joel?
it says, yeah.
I'm reading it wrong.
Did you see the sidewalks down the side of that road?
Sidewalks.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Oh, you guys are killing me.
Well, you had budgeted 45 and 290, and you still got 38,000 left, so you,
Because we're still waiting for the bills to come in.
Yeah.
That just blows my mind.
right,
But
but that's what you had budgeted.
so this year, for the moment, I can tell you what chloride, so 10 grand, the 10,725 will stay the same.
Right,
The chloride is gonna be 48,000. I just got the contract now.
right.
What page are you on?
We are, Seven.
7.
Yep, page 7. Right there, I think.
well, I say you do the chloride 2 or 3 times.
Well, we had a conversation about that, and we'll have to bring it up at the board meeting because they want to do something different.
I know they wanna do the brine on the
Right.
side.
They want to brine the sides and chloride the middle. They say the other township, it's working, but I'm
I
not a big
say,
fan of
and
brine.
this is just one time chlorided?
Yes,
Well, let's chloride it right down the middle twice.
that's, could be something we could discuss.
Why can't we do that?
We
You
could,
got plenty of money to do it with.
so we're looking
You
at
gotta
48,
start-
you're looking at
yeah,
$96,000.
I hate to keep throwing this to you, but you gotta start spending some money.
I'm trying, I really am.
And roads is a good thing.
Roads is a
because
great thing.
everybody sees
Yes.
it.
Everybody likes it. Nobody on the east side of the road likes dust, okay?
No,
Stephanie will tell you, you never gets to open your windows.
Right,
So if you chloride it twice or even 3 times, if we spend 150 grand on chloride, it's not gonna kill us, that's for sure. Cause we ain't got nothing else to spend it on. Besides the cemeteries, this
Right.
building and the roads, that's what we do, that's all we do.
Wouldn't
We
you,
got no parks.
wouldn't you rather put stone on than chloride, spend money on stone?
I'd
than
rather keep
chloride?
the dust down.
You think that's a bigger
Yep.
need? is
I
dust?
think in the summertime, the dust is terrible.
But this last year wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, so let's
Because-
keep it up, and I tell you what, they can always grade it, cause you're just peeling the chloride up, but if you chloride that thing and keep the dust down, you're gonna make them people so much happier
Which we,
than just hitting the bump.
so what we did last year, I had a long talk with Monroe County Road Commission was quit over grading the road. The first thing on the mouth is we don't have no aggregate on the road. And I said, I totally understand, but quit trying to cut out the ruts. Let's just lightly grade them, chloride them. You know what? These roads actually held together better than they normally
Yeah,
do.
well, you also gotta remember, we had no frost this year.
This is
So
true.
that's
Yeah,
a plus.
that's a big.
But
big-
Mead Road over there, I just come down last night, it's beautiful,
It's not bad.
you just gotta. you just
Because
gotta
they're
keep the
lightly
dust
grading
down.
them.
Right, and it works great.
Instead of that heavy grading, because that
Yeah.
it just brings up the dust.
Oh, you bring up the dust, you bring up the salt, all
Yeah.
aggregate, and you're also just making pudding.
Correct.
Cause you know what happens after they do the heavy grade, it rains
Yeah.
every time.
So I think I definitely got some contracts for roads. Right now, I'll probably bring it to the board. Obviously, I have to. We're doing. Oh, and I did find out some interesting news from the road commission, which I'll bring this up to the board meeting. There's a thing called Act 51 where the county is supposed to give us X amount of dollars to help fix things. And they kept putting it on here like, well, we're helping you do all this. And I found about the Act 51. Come to find out they've been doing it all along, but they've been acting like it's out of the goodness of their heart, when actually it's a required contract. They're supposed to be paying it.
Right.
So this year I got a bid for doing all of Crow Road. It was $93,000, but they're paying 27 grand as to act. So there's 66 grand there. Calcium. We're doing stoning of Mead Road to Petersburg to Platt and Wells, which is actually, that's not spelled correctly. It's actually Sherman Road. But they're doing it from Mead to Petersburg and then Platt to Wells, all of Sherman, with the exception of the dead ends. It's 71 grand.
Uh-huh.
And that's on the Crow. Where's the other one at? We got one more. Oh, man, when did we lose a contract? Oh, it's 33 grand. Mead Road from Denison to Sherman is 33 grand. So that's the 4 contracts I got right now.
Right.
But we could definitely do more. I mean, I don't have a problem. I just wanted to see where our budget went. And then maybe we can hit hard one more time, which I would really like to.
Yeah, I say you double the chloride, do it twice. Just let's do 100 grand on that. I tell you what, them people are gonna enjoy it. Ain't nothing worse than dust.
Yeah, I mean, this last year was with us not overgrading, it definitely made an improvement. And then with us stoning even more roads. And maybe we can, like last year, I budgeted for X amount of roads. We ended up doing, this is the county request. One was mine, was Heiser Road. Heiser, I don't think it's ever been touched in 30 years. And I went back and the county's now got this program.
Mhm.
And it shows the last time that road was touched. Like our road wasn't touched for 20 years.
Right,
Heiser was another one, it was 25 years.
yes,
So I went by that, and then the county, their suggestion was do Cooper from Denison down towards the dead end.
which they did,
They did, and I drove on that the other day, and I'm pretty impressive.
yeah.
And even though they graded it, there's no dust. We don't have the dust that we had. So we could do that. I like to budget the same thing I did last year.
I'd like to see you double the chloride.
84,000.
I would
That's
just go
48,
100.
48 be 96, it'd be 100
Oh,
grand.
48.
basically.
I'd just go to 100 grand on that.
All
That's
right.
my vote.
And here's the good news. The good news too, when they restone a road, they get free chloride on that road too.
Yeah, awesome.
So then technically, we'd be tripling on them roads. Why don't we
On
do,
some of them.
why don't we do this? Well, I don't know how we do. Let me talk to the county about that, because
Can-
since we're
can you
redoing
get
these
that?
roads.
Can you get that, the sheet on these roads and so we can see which ones haven't been hit in 20 years?
Yes, I got it. on
And
my-
have it here, so when somebody's,
I think we'll
pissed
slide
about-
right underneath here, so
Yeah.
everybody can see
So
it.
you can answer a
Yeah.
question real quick. Well, that wasn't touched in 20 years, it's on our board, or something.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to do, is go through which roads haven't been touched.
Yeah, you
Which
can
ones
just
are
take
major
that.
thoroughways too.
And then you can highlight the ones that you hit already and then say, these are what we're doing this
Actually,
year.
this thing updates itself too.
Oh, okay.
And then I had a meeting with Monroe County Road Commission in, was that August? Where they actually take each supervisor and they have a meeting, and it's like being in court, man. It's kind of scary, but these guys are kind of grilling you a little bit, but I brought this big checklist of things I wanted to do. And I had to laugh. It's like, they must have looked at my cheat sheet because they answered 90% of them questions. I'm like, that was impressive. The only answer I didn't get yet, and I'm still a little upset, is the center line on Cone Road.
Oh, get that painted.
I barked at them last year. They were going to do it, and then unfortunately, the guys who did the, what do you call that? The ceiling, not the ceiling, but the crack fill and seal
Yeah.
on Cone. That company lost 4 members in a car accident down the road. So they got behind, and I think that's why we probably didn't get a stripe on the road.
Oh, was that the one on,
Milwaukee and
Milwaukee and
Britain.
County Line?
Britain.
Britain
Britain
Highway.
Highway.
Britain Highway.
Yeah, he lost 4 of his employees that day, so they fell way behind. I think he got so late getting a new crew out here to do what they had to do, they couldn't stripe it. It was too late in the season, so. This year, it's expected.
So they are gonna strike
I've told them we were striping that road. I don't care.
it. At night, it's that really
Right.
needs striping.
And now with all the new bicycle route going through Cone
Yeah.
Road, I mean, we need.
That cone's too doggone narrow for bike route.
And you said that you gotta give them 3 feet?
Yeah,
Where are you getting 3 feet?
Not on Cone Road, you ain't got 3 feet.
yeah. You're supposed to give that when a bicycle's riding down their little side, whatever, you're supposed to give them a 3-foot width around them when you pass them.
You're about
About 2 foot off the other side.
you're about
Yeah.
3.5 foot short.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, talking about the white line, in 1962, my girlfriend and I drove out west. And some states had those white lines and some didn't. What a difference. I
Yes.
mean, they're so helpful.
Yeah, it's a fog lane, what they
Especially
call it.
nighttime.
Yeah. I
What's
mean,
that?
we weren't familiar with the road at all.
Correct. And that was a comment I made a long time ago, even to Phil, was, why are we gonna have a stripe on Cone Road? You know, we got half a stripe here and then you got fog lines. He goes, well, the road's not wide enough. I says, well, then let's deal with M22 up north. You ever been on that road?
Mhm.
You know, it goes through the tunnel of trees.
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
Across town. That's all, that road to pass somebody on is
Right.
unique.
You know
It
what,
is
if you got
narrower
a
than
center
this.
line,
And it
you
don't
know
have,
where
all it's got,
it is that
Yeah.
way.
it's only got fog lines. I'd rather see a center stripe than fog lines.
Yes.
Sally's
Oh, yeah.
been complaining about that for years to Phil.
Oh, we all, were.
And Phil said that they wouldn't do it.
yeah,
Like
well.
he said, it's too narrow of a road, we can't put a line on it.
And you know what's funny, when they got rid of that girl at Monroe County and then Leach took over as managing
Yeah.
director, he's done a lot more than what we're getting before. Before it was just a no. Now he's like, we're gonna do it, but unfortunately,
It might be 2 years from now, or whatever.
well, it's gonna be this year. I'm done
This
with
year?
that. Cause I'm getting scooted off the road every once in a while, and it kind of scares me
Right.
too.
Well, the center line just gives you a point of reference when cars come the other way, like I gotta be over this far, you know? The outside line, you might think, well, I'm gonna stay inside that line. Well, you know, you can't take your half out of the middle.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do the sides, just the middle.
Nope, just the middle. That's
That'd be
all I'm
great.
requesting.
All right.
That's like safe. So anyway, back on the road budget. $100,000, I don't mind, but
Do you not wanna do it twice?
not yet.
Why not?
Well, because we're gonna stone all these roads, if I got more money to stone more roads, they're gonna chloride that automatically, twice.
I know, but they're not gonna stone, but just a couple roads out here.
Well, if I can keep more money towards that or spend more money on it, then we can. I don't know, it's good, you know what, let's bring it up to the board meeting.
All right,
I think it's a good place to bring that up.
Stone or chloride.
chloride.
Yeah, because we're doing more stoning, and if I can stone even more roads, that's automatic free chloride on those roads, that's automatic. And they actually get it twice. So when they stone the road, they chloride it, both sides. back and forth, and then when they come by to do the grading of the whole township, they'll chloride that road one more time.
Is that something that you wanna add to the agenda for, so you should.
I think it's on the agenda, isn't it?
Are the roads,
Yeah, I think so.
the road contracts are, but not
Right.
stone and,
Well, that's part of
well, yeah, okay, I'm still.
it.
Are you keeping up with us?
Yeah, I am actually, it's just,
Alright.
you
So
know.
let's do chloride at 48,420, whatever the contract is for now. We can always change that, obviously. That's not a big deal. And let's see if we can stone some more roads. You think we should keep the same budget, 347,582?
Well.
And then I can
yeah,
even do
I mean,
more.
that's a silly number, just go 350 and be done.
If, you know, if you got the money,
Yeah,
you know,
You-
for
you
what
got
you
the
did
money.
this year, you can, you know, if you, like I said, you just check off the ones you did, put Fire Road back on a 20-year list. and then
Yes.
Start getting the other ones.
You're not gonna let me live that down, are you? Nah. I remember when I approved that and Joel just looked at me and I'm like, oh.
No, that's when I was up, I think it was at the high school, the middle
Yeah.
school, and I said, don't you live on that road?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt the school bus run me over that night.
All right,
71, let me add this up real quick, so I'm get an idea of kind of where we're at. Yeah, I'm at 230,000 right now for the contracts I have, and where our budget is, I'm at 230.
all right.
So we could definitely do
That's with the ones, that's with the one chloride.
one chloride.
So you're gonna, you could easily do that and still stay in the 350.
Yeah, plus we do more roads. We
Yes,
could pick,
that's
go
what I'm
through that.
saying.
Why don't we bring that sheet? So let's leave this, let's leave the 350 for right now.
All right,
We can always revisit that.
That thing from the road commission would be very, very handy here when people start talking about the road.
Yes.
You can look right on it and say,
Right.
well, they did this and, you know.
my road hasn't been
2022.
done. in-
And I tell you what, there's a lot of roads that have not been touched for. Well, look at Petersburg where Aaron Straub lives, that little piece, because it goes into York Township.
Yes.
They've never stoned it. They've never done nothing. So
Right.
don't forget, we get free stone too. 500 tons of it. And I did that road with 500 tons of free stone. They were pretty happy. So that was maybe, I don't know the distance of the road. It only cost us $910 to do that,
Like a mile worth of road or something,
barely.
barely.
So it cost us $910 for the county to come out and spray chloride on that. And it cost us $2,500 for the trucking of the free stone. So
That's cheap.
yeah, for almost a mile of road, I mean, it wasn't bad. And we need to talk about our millages too. How we renew those, because I want to renew them. I don't want to,
Yeah,
we have to
we'll
word
get
it
a-
properly
See when they expire.
this year,
Is it this year?
the fire and the road. So what I would like to do is renew the millage. I don't want to take any more money. It's not gonna cost the taxpayers any more money, and I want to make that reiterated very well.
Right.
Because London didn't quite do that, and they lost out on their millages.
Well, they worded it wrong. so.
They did, they worded it wrong for one, and then the next time they put a decimal point in the wrong spot. Yeah, that made the residents go, nope.
That one.
My goal is to keep staying here and keep doing this. And to keep the millages going, so once we run out of, use the millage up for all the roads, we start working on ditches pretty hard. As I say, that our goal I wanna go on. I think it'll help out a road system, you got drainage.
The ditches on some of these side roads have not been touched in,
Right.
in all
Yeah.
30 years.
Petersburg
Long time.
and Sherman Road,
Oh, bad.
Dave Mullins, that field's been flooded for for the last 6 months in the fall.
David's so fed up because he's got this pond that he drives around now. And he wants to try to drain it across the road, but
And we have flow and we can make it work. It just
Yes.
needs to be cleaned out
correct.
and go all the way down to the railroad tracks. Or, yeah,
So my goal is, we use all the road millage up that we can, and after the next 2 years, we should have every road done in the township. And if we do that, now we can start hitting all the ditches and cleaning them, which will preserve our roads. That's my goal,
Oh, it will help the roads.
yes. And then, if we don't have to cut berms and we just put, let's say, how I'm not using my road as a comment. Let's say Cooper Road, because I'm never gonna live this down. Let's say Cooper Road, in the next 4 years, we got every township road done. We won't have to cut berms, but we can add gravel now. And not like they had it with the semis, because that was a lot of gravel. But I think it would just keep preserving the road and keep moving
Well,
forward.
you gotta keep,
Yes,
Yeah.
and it'll get rid of the berms because now your gravel's gonna be down the ditch, towards the ditch, and the berms won't get built up anymore.
that depends on the freeze thaw and.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
That's
amount
a,
of
that's a big
traffic
piece of
and-
it is freeze thaw, because when you get a heavy frost and it leaves the ground, you just have a mush hole.
Yeah,
Yes,
And I grew up on Allison Road, and
oh, yeah,
it was every year, there was, there wasn't well, they fixed the roads or did some stone, it didn't matter. If
right,
they stone the road in spring, it's gone,
Well, you know, it's
because
funny.
there was big ruts on that road.
right. People get stuck. School
Yes.
buses getting stuck.
Yes,
Now this year, not even this year, but even last year, we didn't get that much. We only had one bad area, and that was at Sherman Road, remember it? When you come over Sherman Road, the
oh,
overpass,
right down here, big hole.
it would suck this desk out. For no reason, just a big giant hole. There's a semi-load of gravel in that thing. It's gotta
Right,
be 3 feet deep.
It's obviously a drainage issue.
Yes, it is.
Something's washing it out for
Yeah.
some reason.
So that's something we're definitely gonna work on. But yeah, I think it's a good idea to bring that paper in.
Yeah, I mean, for you to have it right there,
Yeah.
when somebody, starts
right.
on a rant about the road and you look at it and go, yeah, you are right. Hasn't been touched in 20 years. We'll put it on the list.
All right, now we're off to the fire department. Which I don't know what we're gonna do with that, because right now it's the fire board meeting, we'll get a little bit more information on that, but they wanna go full-time fire department, which is gonna cost us money.
Well, there's why you only spent 24,700.
Cause they haven't
Oh,
given
this
us
is
the bills.
revenues. I'm sorry, this is revenue.
Yeah. They spent 61. Yeah, they don't cash their checks up there. It's crazy thing.
They don't bill either, according to Stephanie. You gotta go online and find it.
You gotta find your own bills,
That
yeah,
makes no sense.
which.
Well, it's a share file
Yeah.
now. I agree. I don't agree with it.
Send every township a bill if you wanna get paid.
So that's why we got a meeting, and if you'd like to join that,
Yeah, you said March 28th at 5 o'clock.
yep.
I would say you're gonna just leave the fire right where it
Yeah,
is.
don't even mess with it, because we're gonna have to do some work on that anyway.
Yeah.
So how much money we got coming in appropriations? 141,000, right?
141, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it, because that's, I think when we look, that's what's, that's about what it's gonna cost us with the full-time fire.
Right.
And we can get some of that revenue to come back
You
with us.
go, and I think the full-time fire department works really well with people like in the township areas, because the farther you gotta go, the faster you get there, 5 minutes in the fire and you're done, when it takes them 20 minutes to get there,
Right.
it's on fire.
And it's made a difference. I mean, if you
Oh,
look at
yeah,
the response times we have out here now, I think they're 7 or 8 minutes faster than what they used to.
sure.
By having the two guys during the day
Yep.
up there.
During the day, and then now they're doing weekends, and now they want to do 24. So I mean, two guys will be there at all times. And I'm for that. I mean, it protects our
Right.
residents, so.
And it's just your population growth has grown so much more in the last 20 years.
Yeah, so we got another one due this week or whatever, new resident.
Yeah,
Who's that?
Robert's daughter's having one,
Oh, is that this
tomorrow.
yeah, tomorrow.
Right.
Oh,
So it's 1,610 residents plus one.
week? Okay.
All right.
Moving right along. Street lighting.
Where we at? Street lighting. We raised that already
Yeah.
so that's already done,
We'll leave that alone.
yeah.
That's about it. I think we'll get stuff back in here and go over a couple things and we'll have this thing cleaned up and done.
I think we're awful close. Like I said, most of the, you just gotta bump a couple little things
Yeah.
up and
What you have to do before you do your next set is have Stephanie take the COVID fund money and, put how much was put in each one of these accounts, so you can go, well, we don't need that one at 25,000 if 10 was COVID money.
And I
Right, 'cause
can't
like-
even guarantee you that it's in there, it might be just in the COVID and not
If
in
we
that
spend-
GL number.
You gotta figure, what did we spend on this building last year? Carpet,
What you did,
ceiling,
Ceiling, the
All
carpet,
Ceiling, the carpet. and the
painted it,
yeah,
10 grand.
plus the doors, well, that's over there.
yeah, well, I did one here too. Over
Yeah,
there.
those
And then-
still aren't working over here, are they?
We had a little wind issues, so
Is that what it
the
was?
company's come back to inspect it.
Yeah,
But those were not cheap doors.
That was,
And those were
$14,000,
How much?
14 grand.
14 grand?
But that included replacing that door and then putting an opener on it and 2 openers on these doors.
right.
So it got you 3 doors for 14 grand. That's still crazy for a door. But
Well, the opener is what's expensive.
Yeah.
The door itself was not really that big of a deal. But this one is, I think we're gonna caulk that one up or something. That's got, you can see through it on the corner, it's starting to separate.
Which one?
This one right here.
Oh.
Look at the bottom, you can see daylight through it.
yeah,
I
the
still think
doors.
you
No,
need to
it's-
Replace that door.
That's
It's heavy.
ventilation.
They get-
Ventilation.
A
Yeah.
lot of hot
I'm
air
glad
in
to-
here sometimes.
Natural.
Hey, I don't smell the mouse. What, did you get them clean?
No, we turned the heat up and dried him out.
Dry them out?
I tell you, when we put the ceiling in, I wanted to tear the old ceiling off, but every contractor I come in here says, don't touch it because all the asbestos and crap
Yep.
up there. So
Sealed it.
we've dropped it down, put a new one in. But upstairs, I had them suck it was just nasty. I mean, I don't know what year this building is, but there's been stuff up there
For a long
since
time.
1900s or whenever, yeah.
That was the first mouse we've had in a long time though, and there's a lot of poison sitting around here.
Yeah, that was.
And they're not nibbling on it, so,
It was pretty ripe.
oh yeah, it was, yeah, because during election
Election
day,
day.
I turned an AC on, everybody about ran out the door. It was
Oh, I
bad.
know, they get in the curse mouse gets everywhere.
It was, but yeah, I did bake him like the next day, turn the heat up and within a day or so it was gone. But I think we're gonna get duct painting. We're gonna bring that up in a meeting.
That's a great idea right there.
Since we're done with most of the construction, I think it would.
With these old ducts like that right there, I bet you it'd be pretty simple, really.
I think we
Might
should
be able
do
to
the whole
reach right
place.
down there, yeah.
Well, there's a basement there anyway.
Yeah,
So they just cut a little hole, stick their things in and then patch the hole with a little piece of duct
whatever.
tape or whatever.
I hate to see what comes out of these ducts.
I did the ducts. Oh, I did the ducks at one of my rentals and it got 3 bats and a mole.
Ooh.
There might be a missing board member down one of these ducts, you never know.
Could be.
Anything else? We have any public comment? Who's on?
I know Loretta was watching.
Do you have any
She ain't
comments
talking.
from you, Mr. Nick?
No, I think you'll have this wrapped up here probably the next meeting.
I think it's looking good. I do wanna see the double chloride though.
We'll keep that in the
There you go.
notes.
He's going for reelection too. He's gonna have that
Right,
free chloride for me.
right. Remember when they used to do bags? You could go down and we used
Oh,
to sell the
Lord.
bags.
Yes, I remember that.
That does not work out well.
That worked out great for me, because I bought extra anyway,
Yeah.
and I hosed my road with it, and I tell you what,
Well, yeah, and it does work, but to have the citizens out there chloride their
Yeah.
own road was probably not the best idea.
no. But I did mine, I got my free bags plus bought extra, and I hosed everything.
Yeah,
So from the bridge to Cooper Road was dust free. Because the neighbors got
and
theirs.
it was nice without no dust, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, you live
Yeah,
on the east side of the road too.
right, there you go.
Luckily, I'm on the south side, gosh. Nothing blows my way, usually.
All the winds coming out of the south now, I can't get a north wind.
Yeah, is that all you got there, Mr. Joel?
That's all I got.
We got all
We're
of it.
good.
I have nothing, no, thank you.
I want to thank the board for all the help, because it's a lot easier budget this year with a lot of help, so I appreciate it. Anything from Amanda?
All right,
I'm gonna make a motion to end this meeting.
I'll second that.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
103, March 13th.
I didn't watch the planning commission meeting last night. Anything exciting?
I didn't either.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting.
That's why I was really pushing for like, 5 times the money.